We always thought the planet was a stable machine, but recently the warning lights have started flashing. From the deep ocean to the upper atmosphere, things are breaking down in ways physics can't explain. These aren't just random weather events anymore. They are signs that the system is glitching. Here are 9 signs Earth is malfunctioning right now. Number 9 is the South Atlantic Dent. NASA isn't calling it a glitch anymore. They are calling it a dent in the Earth's magnetic shield, and that dent is actively splitting in two, right now above South America and the Atlantic Ocean. The magnetic field is weakening faster than models predicted. This isn't just invisible data on a server. It is a physical hole in our planetary defense system. Radiation from the sun is leaking through the gap. Satellites passing through this specific zone are getting fried. Their onboard computers crash or reboot unexpectedly. The Hubble Space Telescope actually shuts down its sensors here. It has to close its eyes to avoid being blinded. But the terrifying part is what's happening underneath. This isn't just a random atmospheric fluctuation. It is being caused by a massive blob deep inside the Earth. Scientists call it the African Large Low Shear Velocity Province. It is a continent-sized mountain of dense rock in the mantle. It sits about 1,800 miles down, and it is actively disrupting the generation of the magnetic field. Think of it like a clog in a drain pipe. It disturbs the flow of molten iron in the outer core. Recent data from the Swarm satellite constellation confirms it. The anomaly has expanded westward and split into 2 cells. A second center of minimum intensity has formed off Africa. This weakens our shield even further against solar storms. If a major solar flare hits us right now, it would punch straight through this weakness. It could take out power grids across the southern hemisphere. We are literally losing our armor where we need it most. Number 8 is the dark oxygen batteries. Biology textbooks just became obsolete this year. We used to believe oxygen required sunlight to exist. Photosynthesis was the only game in town for billions of years. Plants and algae turn light into breathable air, but deep in the Pacific Ocean, that rule just broke, 13,000 feet below the surface of the sea. In the Clarion-Clipperton zone between Hawaii and Mexico, it is pitch black with 0 sunlight penetration. Yet scientists found oxygen levels were increasing, not decreasing. At first, they thought their sensors were broken. They recalibrated the equipment and sent it back down. The numbers came back exactly the same. Something down there is manufacturing oxygen in the dark. The source is not a plant or a creature. It is the rocks themselves, sitting on the seafloor. These are called polymetallic nodules. They look like lumps of coal or black potatoes, but they are actually natural geobatteries. They are packed with metals like cobalt and nickel. Researchers measured the electrical charge on their surface. A single stone carries about 0.95 volts. That is almost the power of a AA battery. When these rocks cluster together on the seafloor, they generate enough voltage to split seawater molecules. They literally rip the hydrogen and oxygen apart. This process is called seawater electrolysis. It means the ocean floor is a massive electric grid. Mining companies are desperate to harvest these rocks. They want them for electric car batteries. But if we dredge up these deep-sea batteries, we might suffocate the ecosystem that breathes this dark oxygen. We are discovering the engine of life just to destroy it. Number 7 is the core pause. The center of our planet has gone rogue. For decades, we assumed the inner core was steady. It is a solid ball of iron and nickel. It floats inside the liquid outer core like a bearing, and it usually spins slightly faster than the rest of Earth. This is called superrotation, and it drives our magnetic field. But seismic data from 2010 to 2024 tells a different story. The inner core has stopped superrotating. It has slowed down to match the surface speed, and now it appears to be moving in reverse. This is known as backtracking relative to the mantle. Scientists at USC confirmed this with earthquake data. They analyzed 121 repeating earthquakes. The seismic waves passed through the core at different speeds. The pattern matches a slowdown that hasn't happened in 40 years. This isn't the plot of a bad sci-fi movie. It has real consequences for everyone standing on the surface. The core drags the magnetic field with it. As the core slows down, the field becomes unstable. It also affects the length of our day. The friction between the core and mantle creates drag. This alters Earth's rotation by fractions of a second. We are already seeing the days get slightly longer. We don't know why the cycle is shifting now. It could be the gravitational tug of the mantle, or it could be turbulence in the liquid outer core. But the engine inside our planet is sputtering, and when the engine changes rhythm, the whole vehicle shakes. The stability of the last few decades might be over. We are entering a new phase of planetary mechanics, and we have no way to reach the controls. Number 6 is the Indian Ocean gravity hole. Gravity is not the same everywhere on Earth. We are taught that gravity is a constant force. But if you travel to a spot just just south of India. You actually weigh significantly less than you do at home. This is the Indian Ocean geoid low. It is a massive circular depression in the Earth's gravitational field. It covers about 1.2 million square miles. For decades, scientists had absolutely no idea why it existed. Ship sensors would just drop off the charts in this region. The gravity is so weak here that the ocean actually sinks. The sea level is 350 feet lower than the global average. It is literally a massive dip in the surface of the ocean. But new simulations just revealed the terrifying cause. It isn't what is missing from the top, it is what is happening underneath the crust. Researchers from the Indian Institute of Science ran the models. They found plumes of hot magma surrounding the area. But there is no magma directly underneath the hole itself. It is a ghost of a dead ocean. Millions of years ago, the ancient Tethys ocean floor sank. It plunged deep into the mantle and melted. These cold, dense slabs of ancient rock are now sinking. They are displacing the hot magma around them. This creates a vacuum of mass right under the Indian Ocean. The Earth is literally hollowed out gravitationally in this spot. It creates bizarre navigational errors for submarines. It messes with the orbital path of low-flying satellites. And the scary part is that the hole is shifting. As the mantle churns, the gravity anomaly moves with it. It is a reminder that the ground isn't solid. We are floating on a churning ocean of molten rock. And sometimes that ocean creates a sinkhole. Number 5 is the Gateway to Hell expansion. Locals in Siberia have heard the ground screaming for years. They call the Batagay crater the Gateway to Hell. It started as a small gash in the 1960s. Forest was cleared, and the sunlight hit the frozen ground. Now it is a megaslump visible from space, and new drone surveys show it is expanding violently. The crater is effectively eating the landscape alive. It grows by about 30 to 100 feet every year. But during hot summers, that rate explodes. The permafrost walls are collapsing into a muddy soup. You can hear the loud cracks of the earth snapping open. It sounds like artillery fire echoing through the forest. This isn't just a hole in the ground. It is a time machine to a dangerous past. The slump is exposing soil that has been frozen for 650,000 years. Ancient bacteria and viruses are being thawed out. Anthrax spores from dead reindeer have already revived in similar areas. But the bigger threat is the gas. This crater is a massive methane leak. As the organic matter thaws, it rots instantly. It pumps greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. This creates a feedback loop that melts the ice even faster. Scientists traveled inside to sample the layers. They found the oldest open permafrost in Eurasia. Walking inside implies walking back into the Pleistocene era. The walls are 300 feet high and oozing mud. It reveals the carcasses of mummified animals, bison and horses that died thousands of years ago. The gateway to hell is getting wider every single day, and we have no way to close the door. Number 4 is the Antarctic Greening. Antarctica is supposed to be the white continent. It is a frozen desert of ice and rock, but satellite imagery is picking up a disturbing new color. Large patches of the peninsula are turning bright green. Vegetation is exploding across the ice sheet. We aren't talking about a few blades of grass. We are talking about a landscape transformation. In 1986, vegetation covered less than 1 square kilometer. Today, it covers nearly 12 square kilometers. That is a tenfold increase in less than 4 decades. The rate of growth is accelerating every single year. Between 2016 and 2021, the greening speeded up by 30%. Antarctic pearlwort and hairgrass are taking over. Mosses are forming thick carpets on the melting ice. This is happening because of extreme heat waves. Antarctica is warming much faster than the global average. In March 2022, temperatures spiked 70 degrees above normal. It was the most intense heat wave ever recorded on Earth. The ice retreated and the plants rushed in. This sounds nice until you realize what it means. Green ground absorbs more sunlight than white ice. This is called the albedo effect. The dark moss heats up the ground even more. It melts more ice and creates more soil. It is another runaway feedback loop. Invasive species are now likely to arrive. Seeds carried by tourists or migrating birds will take root. We could see forests in Antarctica within our lifetime. It is a sign that the planet's thermostat is broken. The South Pole is starting to look like Scotland, and that should terrify anyone who likes their coastlines dry. Number 3 is the stuck jet streams. We used to rely on the weather moving. Storms would roll in and storms would roll out. But lately, the atmosphere has turned into a parking lot. Meteorologists are seeing a phenomenon called blocking patterns. The jet stream is the river of air high above us. It usually flows fast and pushes weather systems along, but now it is getting stuck in these massive loops. Scientists call this quasi-resonant amplification. It means the waves in the jet stream get trapped. They lock into place for weeks or even months. This creates heat domes that simply will not budge. Imagine a hairdryer pointed at a city for 30 days straight. That is exactly exactly what happened over the American Southwest. And it is what caused the floods in Pakistan to never end. The mechanism behind this is frighteningly simple. The Arctic is warming 4 times faster than the equator. This reduces the temperature difference that drives the wind. The jet stream engine is running out of fuel, so it slows down and starts to wobble like a drunk driver. When it stalls, the weather on the ground gets extreme. Farmers can't grow crops in a drought that won't end. Cities can't cool down when the night brings no relief. We are breaking records that were set 5 minutes ago. And the models suggest this is the new normal. The conveyor belt of the planet has broken down, and we are just sitting here waiting for the air to move. Number 2 is the global hum spikes. If you put your ear to the ground, you won't hear it. But sensitive seismometers across the planet are screaming. There is a constant low-frequency vibration ringing through Earth. Scientists call it the microseismic hum. Usually, it is just background noise from ocean waves. But in late 2025, the signal spiked violently. Detectors in Africa and South America triggered simultaneously. They picked up a pulse that lasted for days. This wasn't an earthquake because there was no P-wave. It was a continuous resonance like a ringing bell. Some researchers think it is the ocean floor sloshing. Storms are getting bigger and hitting the continental shelves harder. The energy is transferring directly into the Earth's crust. But others think the source is much deeper. They point to the turbulence in the outer core. The liquid iron is churning so hard it vibrates the mantle. It is like an engine rattling the frame of a car. This hum has started to interfere with scientific experiments. Gravitational wave detectors have to filter out the noise, and animals seem to be noticing it too. Whale beachings have correlated with these high hum events. The planet is making a sound we can't explain, and the volume is slowly turning up. It feels like the Earth is trying to tell us something, but we don't speak the language of stone. Number 1 is the magnetic pole sprint. Your compass is lying to you more every day. Magnetic north is supposed to be a stable point, but right now it is sprinting across the Arctic Ocean. For centuries, it drifted slowly around the Canadian Arctic. Then in the 1990s, it hit the gas pedal. It accelerated from 9 miles a year to 34 miles a year. It is racing towards Siberia at breakneck speed. This movement is so fast it broke the algorithms. The World Magnetic Model governs all modern navigation. It tells airplanes and ships where they are going. Usually, they update the model every 5 years. But recently, they had to issue an emergency update. The pole had moved too far for the software to handle. We are literally off the charts. The cause is a jet of molten iron in the core. It is moving under Canada and pushing the magnetic flux. This suggests we could be heading for a reversal. That is when north and south flip positions entirely. The last time that happened was 780,000 years ago. During the flip, the magnetic shield collapses. The surface of Earth gets bombarded with cosmic radiation. Power grids would fry, and electronics would die. Cancer rates would skyrocket for anything living outside. The pole is running away from us faster than ever, and if it decides to flip, we are in big trouble. We are navigating blind into a geomagnetic storm, and there is no GPS for what comes next. So what does all of this actually mean? It means the operating system of our planet is updating. We used to think the Earth was a solid rock, a reliable stage where human history just played out. But the stage is moving under our feet. The magnetic field is denting and the core is pausing. The jet streams are stuck and the poles are sprinting. These aren't just random headlines for a slow news day. They are symptoms of a much larger planetary shift. Scientists are scrambling to rewrite the textbooks, but the Earth doesn't care about our models or predictions. It is going to do whatever it wants to do. We are just passengers on a very large and unstable vehicle. And right now the check engine light is blinking red. If you want to keep tracking these glitches with us, make sure you hit that subscribe button right now. We will keep watching the sensors so you don't have to. Thanks for watching Glyphix Explains, and good luck out there.